welcome to episode 5 now of Branchi Special. How you doing? You know, this is your host, Kaz.
Christoph.
Nicole.
How you guys doing today? You know, today we're going to talk about a little bit of an older show because the manga came back in January for Black Lagoon. I think it was the early 2000s?
2006.
Right?
Well, the anime I know for is 2006.
Yeah. And, good call. And it's an older show. I recently rewatched it when I found out the manga came out. And I actually watched the 5-part OVA afterwards. I've never seen that before. And holy shit, it is the most violent anime I've ever seen in my life. It's, I'll get into that in a second. But it's pretty basic concept, to be honest. They live in this, like, island called, like, Rowannaberg. And it's in the Pacific Islands, and it's like a, not to be lame, but almost like a pirate island.
Yeah.
It's run by, like, 4 different gangs.
It's like mercenaries and stuff like that.
The biggest law is the gang law. It's the triads, the Italian mafia, you have the Russian mafia, and the cartel. Yeah, the Colombian cartel. And they're the 4 main groups who run this island. And then our little cast is Lagoon Company. That's why it's called Black Lagoon. And they kind of is like shipping and handling.
They're like mercenaries for shipping and handling. They're like, here's something that needs to go somewhere. We're gonna pay you, and they're like, all right, and they just kill people.
Because they don't do like but they don't do like mercenary like assassination jobs.
No, but
people just happen to die when they're doing their jobs.
Happens.
Well, yeah, because they're all shooting at each other.
It's a very important documentations that they're transporting.
Or people.
Or people.
Or you never know, but it's kind of like a transport company for illegal operations.
It's a transporter in the form of anime.
I guess I'll just spoil the first 2 episodes so you know what's going on. But spoiler alert, but it's still such a basic concept. There's you meet our main character Rock. He kind of falls in like contact with the Lagoon Company, and then
does he get captured or he voluntarily joins them?
He kind of gets captured though. Like, they capture him, but then they try to get rid of him. And he's like, well, my job said, like, because they try to capture him, the job pretty much is like, fuck him, we don't care. Like, that's not a hostage scenario.
Oh,
like,
yeah, he becomes a hostage, and they're trying to get money, and they're like, we don't care about you. So he's like, well, I got nothing left to do now.
Because his company screwed over him, and it screwed over Lagoon Company, why they were trying to get money for him. They're like, we're not coming out with no money.
And this all happens in, like, the first episode.
Dude, this all happens in, like,
right off the bat.
Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because in the most of that first episode is still him riding with them, and then by the end of the second episode, he now has joined them, and because they do their part, they like drop off the documentation that he had, and then his job is like, well, you want to come back? And he's like, nah, screw you guys, you kind of left me out there. Yeah. And they're like, all right, bye, and he's like, all right, bye, Japan. And then they go to Rowannaberg, which is like, I guess not
again, just the island,
Pacific Islands, in between Japan and Korea, we've learned, and then the rest of the story is pretty much like 2 or 3 episode little arcs of them doing their little missions. Yeah. And a lot of cursing, a lot of violence actually. Yes. So it's definitely M-rated, not really meant for kids.
Yeah.
But
is it M-rated though?
It's gotta be with they say fuck like 47 times in the show.
Yeah, I never checked.
They say it like a lot.
I didn't check the rating on it, but I'm sure
I
it's
would assume
there.
it's probably M-rated.
Yeah, I remember when I bought the manga, it came sealed, so I think it had to be adult content.
Maybe.
Normally, unless you go to like an actual like comic store where they seal it up and everything comes sealed, and instead you just go to a normal bookstore and it comes sealed. Usually it's because it's an adult content.
I know.
That's kind of what I base it off of.
I know the anime has no nudity in it, so it's most likely not adult rating in anime. It's probably
maybe because of the language.
I think it's just language and violence. That's usually 17
that's what I mean.
Yeah. But it's definitely M-rated. It's a good show. The OVA, I definitely suggest going out of your way and watching the OVA. I had trouble finding like a hard copy of it, so I just kind of streamed that one. Yeah. That wasn't on like Hulu or Crunchyroll or anything. But it was real cool. It was in the first season, in one of their little arcs, you meet this maid Roberta, who's like ex-military, of course, and she's out of her mind, like really out of her fucking goddamn mind. This chick's nuts. And the whole OVA is this her on a rampage. It's called like Roberta's like revenge.
And this is the OVA you say?
Yeah, the OVA.
Okay.
And something happens and she just completely goes on this serial killer rampage. The whole town is even scared. They hear she's coming through, and everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta run! We gotta get the hell out of here!" Like, nobody wants to mess with her. She's like that crazy, and of course, like, a whole mini war breaks out, and
It's like me when I'm hungry.
Yeah. Well, like in the regular like anime series, when you first meet her, like there's one scene they're all sitting in the car and the two main women are fighting, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna move because we're not gonna make it out of this." Like they're just going like absolute ape on each other.
yeah, they're great. Yeah, the main character is his name is Rock, by the way, and then those members of the Lagoon Company is Levy. She has like this tribal tattoo on her, like purple hair, and they call her Two Hands. She uses two guns. She's like the muscle, and then we have
She's kind of more like the muscle wild card.
No, but she's 100% the muscle in that show, because then we have Dutch, who bald black guy.
Yeah.
He is the boss. He owns and runs the Lagoon Company.
Yeah.
And you got Benny, who you find out is Jewish at one point. That's like the most background we really find out about him. Or no, you actually no. There's an episode in season 2 where you find out more about him. Okay. But then he's like their tech guy, and then they kind of bring in Rock as like, I guess like a face.
I'm not really sure what he does yet.
Dude, I've watched both seasons numerous times and the OVA, and I'm still not sure what his point is in this show.
Maybe to tell the story.
They just kind of felt bad for him, I guess. But the whole point of the show is mainly for character development, and you know, and there's a lot. Of course, if you like action, because there's a lot of action.
Yeah.
You know, but there's no like main antagonist really. But you see, there's crazy amounts of character development. Yeah. Just how the character Rock evolves from season 1 to season 2, and then you gotta watch the OVA because he like 180s real hard in the OVA, and you're like, wow, you sadistic son.
Yeah, you were telling me like he changes like
drastically.
His character development changes in the anime, and then it changes again in the OVA.
But yeah, it's a real good show. I suggest checking it out, and I'm just about to start reading the newer manga, and I'll let you guys know how that is when it comes out.
All right, so I'm going to be talking about Kill la Kill, which, if you don't know, is made by the creator of Gurren Lagann, which me and Kaz, and I'm not sure if you've seen.
I watched a couple episodes.
Oh, it's great. Definitely highly recommended watching that show. I will still cry at the ending, even though I've seen it like 3 times.
I think it's still on Netflix.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, I think
it's still on Netflix.
One of the few good Netflix shows. Check it out. Yeah.
But Kill la Kill, I know. I'm pretty sure it's on Crunchyroll in it.
It used to be on Netflix. I'm not sure if it still is.
I didn't want to say it because I don't want.
It's on Hulu too.
It's on Hulu too. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to watch this, you can go to those.
I think oddly enough though, I think Hulu only has the sub. Well, Netflix used to have the dub and sub. I never watched the dub myself.
Hulu has a lot of shows that are just subbed.
Yeah, or they'll have like the first 2 episodes dubbed, and that's it.
Really
it's real weird. I don't know. Hulu, let us know why.
So, the story starts off with the main protagonist, Ruko, who is avenging her father's death with the means of a scissor longsword, which she has to find the other half of it that's missing in order to find the killer. She goes to this school that is run by Suzuki, who's the student council, and the Elite Four is like her like subordinates who have what are called Goku uniforms, which are have life fibers.
Well, her Elite Four has the 3-star Goku uniform.
Right, 3-star Goku uniforms.
Because other heads of clubs have like 2-starred ones, and then other people have 1-starred ones.
Yeah, it goes down a tier, and then it goes to like the normal like.
And she has the only 4-star one, right?
Because she's
the head of the student council. Yeah.
So there's only one, and they're so they have the life fibers in it, which like kind of is like this like alien source of power type of deal that you learn later on in the manga and anime. Yeah, aliens. And
ancient ones.
So she gets to the school, she confronts Suzuki, she loses to her, and Suzuki like makes her believe that like she was the one who killed her father. So like pretty much halfway through the entire series, like she thinks she is the enemy and is doing anything possible, and because she loses, she has to join the school, and ends up living with this one character called Mako, which is one of my favorite.
Oh, her family is so great.
I love her family, and I love her because she just goes on a rant, and then you have to watch this in order for me to for you to understand, because I can't explain it in good justice.
Just always yelling.
Just scream. She veers way off course on her conversations and goes at Mach speed rants.
But she's the only actual good person.
Right.
Her and her family are
She is by far the comical relief of this series. Her and her family. But anyway, so they end up. She ends up getting this uniform that's school uniform, but it's not the actual colors of the school. It's a black and red suit, and she can actually speak to it. And it's called Sazuku. Senketsu. And basically they can interact with each other, and the uniform uses her blood to
come to life.
Yeah, to come to life and use powers, but she doesn't learn how to control it yet, so she keeps losing too much blood and
it has a Power Ranger mode kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it pretty much can talk to her normally.
Yeah.
And then it has a thing where it eats a little bit of her blood, and similar to Deadman Wonderland, how they use the blood power, more like Blood Blockade Battlefront, they trigger it with their blood.
Yeah.
It then kind of becomes like a Power Ranger uniform if you're watching a porno about Power Rangers.
Yeah, and a little spoiler is when she does transform, it's a little explicit.
Spoiler, you find that out right away. I almost stopped watching the first episode when you find that out.
Yeah, I thought it was going to turn into a big fan.
It's an amazing show though, and it's very everything is clothes related though, so it makes
There's
more
a lot
sense.
of fights, and the fights are epic, and everything about this show is
clothes related.
Clothes, really, everything is about clothes, but everything is epic in the show. They can't just do something simple.
Yeah.
It needs to be blown up out of proportion.
Oh yeah, it's very big and very what's a good word? I'm blank now.
I'm not sure.
Nah. All right, never mind.
That's fine.
I'm gonna cut all that.
That's fine. But I love the show. I think the manga is out, but I don't know the volume they're on right now for English. For us, at least,
it's
to
not
read in
over?
English.
The anime
No, the anime's over.
Yeah.
The anime's over. But for some reason, they introduced an English manga recently.
I know it was an original anime, but it didn't have manga when they put out the anime.
Okay, so maybe that's why it didn't make any sense to me. Why
it
came 2 years later.
Same, Gurren Lagann and that were both just anime shows, and then the mangas are just portrayals of the anime.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Apparently, they're working on a third show too. Because Gurren Lagann was a story of the coming of a boy to a man, and this is a story of a girl to a woman, and apparently they're going to do a third show with siblings growing up together. Yeah, well, it's a big metaphor to siblings. So
yeah.
When it comes out, we'll let you know when we find out any news about it. It should be good since the other two shows are amazing.
Yeah. But as far as Kill la Kill goes, I love the show. I highly recommend that you watch it. It's not that hard of a watch. It's not that long of a watch.
It's not hard at all. It's a great watch. Watch.
You'll have fun watching it.
It's colorful and
especially
vibrant.
when you get to be introduced to the nudists.
Yeah, the nudist resistant force.
Nice.
Because it's all based off clothes, man.
It's all based off clothes. Everything comes down to the almighty clothes.
Real good original idea, I think.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of making a show based off of clothing.
Nope.
No.
But I give it a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah.
Yeah, we are now going to stick to the 5-star rating system.
5-star rule.
This is, I've noticed in the videos we've done 3 different rating
We've
systems.
done 10, we've done 5,
5.
and an A system.
We've done the letter system. We're going to stick to a 5-star rating system, so...
That's that.
Yeah,
Kill la Kill, you should watch it.
Oh, Mob Psycho 100, I guess I would give a 4, 4.5 out of 5. I didn't put a star on that one.
No.
Great show. Definitely watch both of them.
Yeah, watch our previous video about the review on Mob Psycho, right? We did that last week.
Yeah. Did a review on that. I realized we didn't do a number for that.
So.
Yeah. Check
better
that
late
out.
than never, right?
Yeah. We're gonna get better with the numbering system.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're just starting. It's okay.
They're good. We've been telling you guys nothing but good shows.
We're doing our
Yeah,
best.
we're doing our best. We're learning as we're going.
I guess we should do an episode where we just bash 3 animes.
Oh, we
We
should.
should, where we're just do not watch any of
A
this.
bash session.
Bash session.
We can wear little boxing gloves as we do it. Make it elaborate.
We'll just roast the show.
Yeah, this
We can have a roasted
A nice,
chicken here.
We'll have a nice open fire.
We
With
can
some
roast it.
We can
marshmallows.
just roast
We can do
it.
it outside. We'll just.
We can take a little open fire with the manga. And we can just
I have a
roast the
fire pit
manga.
in the backyard.
I like this idea.
We got
this
this
is a good
going.
plan.
Like, I got
Comment below if you want us to do a bash episode.
do a roast episode.
Clearly, we're
totally
more
going
than
to.
happy of doing that.
We will do it sooner than later, though. If
Yes.
you want. Alright, cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna be reviewing Death Parade. Basically, you start off. It's a bar, and people that die get stuck in this bar, and it's kind of like a judgment.
So like
thing.
purgatory is.
Yeah.
Alright.
So this is where they decide whether they're going to heaven or hell,
Mm.
and they're forced to play a game. You spin a wheel and you kind of land on a random game, and then you and this other person, you have to die at the same time. So it's you and another person, and they don't have any memories, and they're forced to play this game. And while they're playing the game, little memories of their life and how they died start coming back to them, and it kind of just, I guess, the stress of the game brings out their true self, which is what there's people called arbiters
Alright.
are watching them, and they're the ones that are deciding their fate.
Hmm.
So it kind of leads them which direction they're gonna send them. But we're gonna introduce like this main character. You don't know her name for like the first 3 episodes because she doesn't remember who she is. I think her name is Chiyuki. I don't really remember how to pronounce it, but it's basically all about her. They introduce her as an assistant to these arbiters who is deciding these people's fates, and she's just kind of learning about purgatory and how these things work, and she's a little put off by it because, you know, they're playing their game and they're stressed out, and she's like, well, maybe that's not how they would react normally.
And the people who are running it are like heartless about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to be though.
Yeah, you're
Non-biased.
judging. You
Yeah,
gotta be
you're not-
non-biased too.
Just like a person watching, you're not allowed to have really an opinion before
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that concept.
Yeah, but she's kind of thrown off by it because she's a human. She doesn't really get by it. And as the show goes on, she starts getting her memories as she's hanging out with these arbiters, but she's kind of fading away because she's not supposed to be in purgatory for that long.
Alright, yeah.
So the whole show is kind of her trying to find where she's going to be going. I don't want to give away any spoilers,
Yeah.
but
Got it.
that's basically,
Ends up being like the core concept.
yeah, it's just, it focuses on her and her point of view of everything that's happening here. But I think it's a really cool concept. Like, there's one episode where they're bowling, there's one where they're playing darts.
Well, that's the first episode, right?
Yeah, where
I
they're
watched
playing
the first
darts,
episode.
and the dartboard is just different body parts, and if the other person lands on one of the body parts, the other competitor has a pain. So say I landed on your arm, you'd be like, oh no.
Oh, my arm.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Clever.
which I think triggers off more of the aggravation, because you're like, you did that on purpose, you know?
He's like, no, yeah.
But yeah, while she's watching it, she's like, that's not okay. Like, you're hurting each other. But not really, because they're dead. So it's,
Yeah.
But
It's all mental, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's to bring out your true personality.
your true self.
But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a really different concept.
Mm-hmm.
It drags you in from the first episode. Every episode's really intense.
Alright.
I
I
would
have
give
to watch it.
a strong 4.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Solid.
I've been meaning to watch the rest of it. The first episode was really good.
I
and then
really liked it.
I don't know what happened. I just kind of fell off. Probably was busy at work that week, and then.
I think even
Yeah.
if they didn't have the main character, like Chiyuki, it's still like a cool concept for a show. Just watching these people fight and like how deciding where they should go.
There's only like 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, it's very
a
short,
one.
easy to binge. I would definitely give it a watch. It's the only season. I'm not sure if there's a manga. I don't really see how there
no.
would be.
I don't remember seeing any.
I know it's technically connected to the Death Note universe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I heard. I heard there's a cameo of Light in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention. I couldn't tell you which one, but that's what I.
They
I
show
heard.
him like up to be, like judged next
Yeah,
or something.
Interesting.
It's probably after the credits on one of the episodes.
probably.
Yeah. But apparently it's connected in the same universe.
Really?
Yeah. So
It's
that's
definitely
kinda
a really cool show, though.
cool. Alright. Yeah, well, definitely.
I think I watched it in like 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Binged
That's
it
super
all.
quick.
Yeah, they're not long episodes either. I think they're like a half hour.
Right. Normal
Right.
anime. Like,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Easy to watch.
After you cut out the intro and outro, it's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no boring parts.
Alright, cool. So,
That's good to know.
go out and watch Death Parade, guys. No, that pretty much wraps it up for this
Yeah.
week's
Yeah.
episode. You know, like, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed our the shows we reviewed. there's anything particular you want us to review, put it in the comments below. I know so far we have one show that has been suggested. We gotta watch it. And then, yeah, see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.